to record individually because we're doing lip sync. It's a very technical type skill that the actors are required to have or be able to pull off. And so if it were a cartoon like Family Guy or something, then we would like be in a room full of microphones and actors, and we all play off each other, which is the most fun you could ever have. But we aren't afforded that luxury in the world of anime.
Who's the most unique that you've run into, like in the studio or wherever, on or anything like that?
For me, I once did a commercial and then I got cut from it, but I still got paid. I got to work with Billy West once. Billy West actually, you know, Futurama and all that, and did Ren and Stimpy back in the day. That guy is hysterical and super talented, and everything you ever hear about him, look him up online if you're going, who's Billy West? He's really, really hysterical. And
Right, from Futurama.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing. The energy just pours out of him. He's got great stories. Working in the booth or just whatever. And of course, you know, great voices and everything. But he's a great actor too. On top of that, so just getting to be around someone that I've admired for many, many years and getting to just see him, the magic come alive in the booth is like really, really cool.
I'll say for me, it's Mr. Kyle Abear. Right here. For someone who I haven't met that I really, really would love to meet and totally respect and just love is just the streamlined. I mean, Seth MacFarlane to me is really, really amazing. I just that he can transition so quickly from all those different voices with no hiccups or anything. It's just you don't understand how hard that really is to do. That's just extremely difficult. So I really respect that guy. You sir.
How do y'all feel about Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
I like some of it. I've seen some of it. I think it's clever and funny. People often, I played King Yemma on DBZ as well, and people often at these cons ask me to say mahogany.
Mahogany.
Yes, mahogany. Why, Goku? Have you observed my mahogany desk? It starts to become very, what's the...
It's made of mahogany.
Oh, George Takei.
Oh, George Takei. It's like, oh, my. Mahogany.
Yeah, they're funny guys. I know a lot of them. Little Karibo just got married, actually, recently, to another friend of mine. They're at Yomicon this weekend.
That's right.
Let's see. Yeah, no, they're hysterical. I know some actors in the industry hate the idea of that with a passion because, oh, it's fan dubs and it's just pirating things, blah, 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 blah. I'm not really taking that stance. I think they're funny. I think the more ironic thing is the things, I mean, they're very popular. Their parodies are more popular than the shows that they're parodying. And so, yeah, we'll have a deal where a lot of fans will come up to us in autograph lines and suddenly we're saying their lines instead of the lines that were originally from the show.
Which is fine, because I've talked to a few, you know, some of the, you know, your Sabbats and things like that, and we've talked, and we're not sure where some of the legalities lie, but,
yeah.
You know, actually taking that sort of abridged idea and doing it with the real voice actors, you know, parodying ourselves in a way.
Yeah.
And, you know, if and when we can get to do that, I think that would be a lot of fun. I think you guys would enjoy some of that too, you know, sort of exaggerating ourselves in a way. So
Sounds like a nice DVD extra.
Yes.
I mean, I've been doing comedy for a long, long time, improv and sketch comedy and stuff like that. So that stuff I really appreciate. If it's clever, it's a good idea, you're saying funny stuff, I'm all for it. The more irreverent, the better. Totally. Who else? Yes, Little Red.
Did you say Happy Thanksgiving in Eisen's voice?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Just 2 words, you're getting excited about that?
Eisen.
Why?
It's Eisen. He's awesome.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
This is my bedroom voice.
That's very sexy. What are you wearing? The question is, what are you looking at to see that?
I got my turkey baster. So anyway,
No. It's a little too early. Yes, with the hand and the finger, yes, you.
Do you guys ever take fan suggestions like online of what your work is? Like I know for Kamina, fans just
Yes, they did. Well,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, you know, critics are critics, and there will always be critics. And I don't care if you don't like it. I get paid.
Yeah,
You got paid for it.
You got paid.
I hope that you like it, and I think that I will put the effort into doing something that I am proud of. And if someone doesn't like it, well, someone's always not going to like it.
Yep. To each their own. I mean, when you see a show, when it comes to anime, and you watch the Japanese version, you're biased towards what you see first.
Sure.
And, you know, I'm not going to fault anyone for preferring one over the other. I mean, that's, you know, I have to do what we all have to do what we're expected to do in the booth. You direct me, you're paying me to give a performance that you want. I'm not the director, I'm the actor. So with Kamina, for example, they said, we don't want him to sound like the Japanese. He needs to sound a little younger. He's not, you know, he's not 40. He needs to sound closer to 17. So we went with that, and there was a lot of, you know, as soon as it started airing on Sci-Fi, all the haters started coming out. And then a couple episodes further in, they go, okay, well, you don't suck as much as thought. Changed their mind.
You're okay, I guess.
Ended up winning the one award I've ever won is for the dub performance of that. So it's like, oh, I guess people liked it after all. But again,
Hey,
going
you
back
beat
to the
Mace
first-
freaking Windu. Come on now.
I mean, Mace Windu, that's right.
Just who the hell do they think they are?
Preference, it's okay. I mean, you like it, you don't. I'm very thankful for the people who do, you know. But influence about like, can you choose what you try out for? No, we don't get to do that. Sometimes I wish we could. But you know, once our demo is in the hands of casting people, it's up to fate. You know, they'll call us out of the blue, and suddenly you're auditioning for a project. And 9 times out of 10, especially with anime, we hadn't heard of the show before. So it's like we come in, we try out, hope we get it, and hope we knock it out of the park. And you know, things like that help get us to meet you guys. We get to travel the country and sometimes the world to hang out with you guys and talk about what we do for a living. It's a very, very blessed thing.
I mean, even on the other side of that, I've had people come up to me and go, hey, I really appreciate how you really tried to stay true to, you know, the original Mr. Satan's voice and everything else. I was like, you know, it's funny you say that because I never had heard it before. I auditioned for it. I looked at Hercule and saw Hulk Hogan. And so I
What you gonna do?
Randy
Brother!
Savage, and that's how I kind of came up with it. I heard
Ooh,
the voice later,
yeah,
and I hear it even now when they play a little bit of Japanese. They play the Japanese before we do it these days, but they didn't used to. So I mean, on that end, it's like, hey, I guess I got lucky. People end up liking it. They thought I was trying to stay true. So you know, just how it goes. Way in the back, and we'll come back up here. Yes.
What's been your fondest memory of voice acting so far?
Fondest memory?
Well, one of them again is just getting the first time in the booth at Funimation. It's like, wow, I never envisioned it. You know, as a kid, I wanted to do cartoon voice acting. And here I was doing a form of that, even though people say, you rub them real raw if you call anime cartoons, but animation is animation. So, the splitting hairs. I have no hair to split, but...
You get the idea.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
For myself, I think I got a phone call one day, and they were creating these trading cards for Dragon Ball Z, and they wanted me to come in and sign my name on these cards and stuff like that. I'm like, what? Somebody wants my autograph? Wow, that's cool. Okay, cool, yeah. They're going to pay me to sign some autographs. So I was like, that was a really cool moment. Like, wow, that's never happened before. So no one ever wanted my autograph until I screamed a lot. Yes, up here.
Okay, you know how you guys do like certain voice actors? Do you guys get to pick them, or are you like told to do them?
I'm sorry, what exactly?
Like, you know how you guys play like Mr. Satan, the eyes and stuff
Sure.
like that? Do they tell you to play them, or do you get to like audition for them like on your own and just like pick them?
Well, some of it is an audition process. I auditioned for the part of Hercule, and there's been other shows that I've auditioned for. But when it comes down to once kind of sort of the main cast is sort of cast through that, I've been into Funimation and Okratron, I hate saying that. What is this
Okra,
obsession
okra,
with okra? Anyway,
I don't know.
get it. It's weird.
It's a seasoning.
Directors just kind of know what voice they'll see a character, and they go, I know Chris can do this, or I know Kyle can do this, and so they'll call you in. So a lot of times you show up in the booth that day, and you may know what show you're working on, or maybe not even know what show you're working on, and it's just the director saw you for this role, and I'm using you today, and it's a character maybe around for a couple episodes, or this or that, or maybe not, someone who dies really fast. But so yeah, it's really up to the director. The director kind of figures that out once the main cast and there's supporting roles that kind of come in over a series, like an FMA or a Dragon Ball Z, and so yeah, you play kind of random bit parts and just show up one day and like, oh, I'm going to be this guy today. So
yeah, they sometimes. I mean, for Eisen, you mentioned Eisen. Yeah, I mean, what I did in the audition is what I ended up doing, and then we tweaked the voice at all. I said we want that, and then other times they